Hi everyone, welcome to Homerino Collectibles, where today we're going to be taking a look at the 6-inch Star Wars Black Series Kylo Ren from The Last Jedi. Now, The Last Jedi, I think it's a good film. Do I think it's a good Star Wars film? No, I would change almost absolutely everything that happened in the movie. And for the first time, I can honestly say that I really dislike a lot of the things that they did, and kind of went back on everything that was set up from The Force Awakens. But I still enjoy the movie and still really do like the movie. I just kind of wish that things went in a different direction. And that's kind of the same with how I feel about this figure in a way, just nowhere near as much. But yeah, I mean, as you can see, there is no mask here. In The Last Jedi, we only see him with his mask right at the start of the film, and then he destroys it. I still would have liked to have had that, so I would have liked an interchangeable head with this guy so that you could have that option if you really wanted it. But anyway, let's flip it around to the back here, where it says, growing more powerful in the dark side of the Force, Kylo Ren pursues his enemies with sinister determination. He will prove to Supreme Leader Snoke what he is truly capable of, and he will hunt down those who caused his defeat at Star Killer Base. So let's go ahead and get this thing open up and take a closer look. And here we have Kylo out of the packaging, and first up, let's take a look at the accessories that this guy comes with. So as you can see, he is wearing a cloak, and as well as that, you also get the lightsaber hilt without the blade attached, which is exactly the same, just, well, without the blade attached. It does actually have the holes, which is very nice, the open holes, and down here, it has this little ridge that is going to attach to his belt, so this can actually attach to the figure, which is fantastic, and I believe this is a new mold. I'm pretty sure you couldn't do that with the older one. Now, onto this cloak right here. It's fantastic in the way of its molding. I always love having cloth capes and stuff like that, but to really get the design of this thing, there's no way that you could have done this with a cloth cape, and it does look pretty fantastic, I have to say. The only problem is, it just kind of looks a little bit kind of grey and a little bit kind of purplish, and I'm definitely seeing it on the camera. I hope that you can see it on your screen as well. It just looks a little bit kind of purple and a little bit kind of grey. You do have some amazing detail on the inside as well, and it's not like super heavy or anything. It's quite flexible, quite pliable, and as you saw, it sits on his shoulders really well. It really does lie beautifully on this figure. And also you can kind of use the hair on the back of the head there to kind of push against it. Really locks it in place, and this thing ain't going to fall off. So it doesn't put him off balance or anything. It's not going to fall off. So that is a really fantastic thing about this cloak. Likewise with that color as well, you see it again down here. Now his actual kind of tunic coloring here, I feel, is a bit too light as well. It is black, but it's just a bit too close to grey for my liking. It should be like, proper jet black. And then these trouser bits down here, they have the same kind of colouring as that cape. It looks purple. It just looks purple, and it just doesn't look good to me. So I think this should have been this colour, and then this should have been like a proper deep dark black. The lightsaber, whilst it looks fantastic, and it is a little bit translucent there, as you can see when I put my hand behind it, it's more red when less light is passing through it, and you do have that awesome molded in detail there. It's not just straight and flat, it is kind of unstable. It does also have that little ridge on there. Now here is the section of the belt where you can put the lightsaber on, so you just really push it in there. It doesn't stay in all that well, but it does go in, and unless you nudge it or touch it, it's not going to fall off. It stays in well, but if you were going to play with it and use it, because it comes down to the hip, every time you move the hip, it will pop off, and I say that, and then it doesn't. Okay, fair enough, this time it doesn't. Every time I've put it on there before this, it's fell off, so maybe I just didn't push it in far enough. It has come out a tiny little bit, but not much. So, okay, fair enough. It does stay in pretty well. I stand corrected on that. But I don't see why they've used this newer mold for this, because the old one didn't have the little nub on, so why would you have the little nub, which isn't actually on the actual lightsaber? There we go, now I've knocked it off. Maybe it was just the arms that I kept on hitting it with. I just don't see why they didn't use the old sculpt for this, so you didn't have that nub on there, and then just have this with this on there, but whatever. It's fine, and it's not really in the way or anything. I just don't really see why that's there. It just means that the older lightsaber was a bit more accurate and a bit nicer. The head here, the face, it's way too dark of a skin tone. It really should be like as pale as you can get it. Adam Driver's very pale. And then also the scar in there is not painted. In The Last Jedi, actually has kind of a carbon fiber looking kind of design on the scar, which is obviously there to heal and to patch it up, as opposed to our kind of stitches. That's not on there at all. And there's not even any kind of scar detail in terms of just a little bit of redness or something either. It's molded in there, but it's just not visible. And if you're far away, it just doesn't have a scar at all. Because that was a big... that was a big design point in the film. You know, he has that kind of carbon fiber stitching kind of design on the face. There's not even any redness on this scar. It's molded in there, but it's just not painted on, which just really is a major detail of this figure that has been missed. Also, the hair I feel is too brown. It is a dark brown, and it does look good. And I just would have preferred a little bit more black in there. What I would have liked is maybe just a full-on black sculpt of hair with a little bit of brown kind of washed onto it or something. I think that would look quite nice. But as it is, I mean, it works perfectly fine. And the figure does look great, and especially with that cloak on, it looks really different to other Kylo Ren figures that we've got. But I would have loved a separate head sculpt with the mask, and I would have... because that's how you see him at the start of the film as well, with that cloak and his mask. But the figure does look great, and its articulation's great as well. So the head doesn't look up too much because of the long hair, but that's to be expected, so who cares? It does look down well, and then left and right and side to side really well. The arms here come all the way out to the side and rotate all the way around. You get the single jointed hinge at the elbow and rotation there, and then also the rotation and a single joint at the wrist there as well. We have a ball jointed waist, so we can turn left and right, but then also crunch forward and back and side to side. This is pretty flexible. It doesn't allow for amazing waist articulation, but you can get it there. And then the hips also move forward and back pretty decently. Rotation at the hip as well. Double jointed knees, and then the feet do go up and down, and we have a really nice ankle pivot on the figure as well. So overall, I think this thing looks fantastic, especially with the cloak on. I think this is a really great look. I'm just not really getting the kind of purple vibe. I don't really see why everything has a hint of purple in it. And I don't know. I love the figure with the fact that you can store the lightsaber on the belt. And I really do like the fact that we've got another unmasked Kylo, but for me, and for a lot of people out there, a lot of kids out there, I'm pretty sure they would prefer Kylo with his mask on, so I really do wish we had that other head sculpt. If you want a really great Kylo Ren, I'd say just go for either of the Force Awakens ones, the Starkiller base one, which has the snow on and everything, which is my favourite, or go for the regular one that does come with an unmasked head as well, that you can still put the hood up on and everything. So I think that those two are probably the best Kylo Ren still. This is a great different look, but yeah, design-wise, I would have just gone with all black, and definitely would have put that scar on there. This just looks like another Force Awakens one with that head sculpt on there. So definitely for a customizer, you could make this thing look way better. I think they kind of missed the mark on this, but it's still a great one, and if you like the design and if you like the figure, then do go ahead and pick it up. So thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and give it a like, and if you want to see more from me, there's some videos on the screen right now, and links to my social media in the description below. To see more Star Wars Black Series videos, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.